If you would like to support me in making these videos, please check out the link to my Patreon campaign down below. If you support me on Patreon, you will also automatically be entered to one of my monthly giveaways. For the next build, I will be doing a collaboration with Scale Motorsports and their super detail set, and also a full body wrap they have with a decal sheet. Now there are two kits of this one. There is one of the Revell Germany version, that is this one, and then there is also the US version. Now the only differences I have found so far are the instructions. They look a bit different and they have a couple of steps in different orders. The body of the German version is yellow and the one of the US version is white, and the decal sheet is printed by a different manufacturer. Now as far as I know, the decals from the German version are higher quality than the ones of the US version, but I'm not really going to use any of those as I have the decal and detail set from Scale Motorsports, which I will be showing you in another video. Now let's get a quick glance at these parts first and then go into a bit more detail. So as you could just see, this one has an engine. The hood comes off and it shows a lot of detail in the engine bay, and therefore it has a lot of engine parts and pieces as well. They are scattered all around all of the various sprues. Most of them are nicely detailed, but there is still some room for improvement. Now as you can see on both of these engine halves, they have a lot of nice surface detail and also some nice writing on top, making it look very realistic. With a bit of paint and some help of the decals that are supplied in the kit, you can make it really look convincing, or go even higher by adding a lot of wires, hoses and stuff like that. Now there are also a couple of detailed pieces for the rear of the car, and with that Scale Motorsports set you can detail them out a bit further with some mesh, some vents and some other stuff all around. There are a lot of complicated shapes in this kit, and therefore a lot of different and separate parts for those pieces. Nothing to worry though, most of these parts need to be painted black anyway, so a lot of these details will pretty much fade out into a deep dark shadow. Now, normally when you have vented or slotted disc brakes, or even some drilled disc brakes, the vents or the holes are lower than the top surface of the disc. Now in this case Revell decided to have them raised. I don't really know how they thought that would work, but it looks kind of weird, and luckily in the Scale Motorsports set that will be deleted and fixed with a set of their own discs and also some photo etch parts. For the interior of a race car, a roll cage is absolutely necessary, and luckily Revell spent a lot of time on detailing it out, making it look like the way it is supposed to. It assembles really nicely without too much problems. The chassis and undercarriage is pretty much one big piece, nice and flat, not a lot of detail, just like the actual car probably, and it also needs to be painted black. Strangely enough, Revell spent a lot of time detailing this chassis interior pan out. A lot of parts are molded in there, which makes it a lot more complicated to paint them, but it does save you a lot of time in cleaning it up and also making separate parts fit together. Now, the strange thing is, this thing is super nicely detailed, but it will probably all be hidden. The windows are really small to look through, and all of it will be covered up with some seats and a roll cage, and if you're in luck, the rear half of the glass needs to be painted black, so nothing of that will be seen. However, they did spend a lot of time on detailing it out, which is really positive. Even though you can't really see it, it doesn't matter that it's not there, and for a lot of the race car guys out there, or some of the detail freaks, they do have a lot of room to work with and also just detail it out. As per usual with Revell, everything is there, but the wheels and tires mostly look a bit weird. The shape is correct, the size should probably be correct as well when scaled up, or maybe it's not. They just look weird and off. Now in the Scale Motorsports set, that will be fixed with a new nice set of wheels, but nonetheless, if you would like to use the wheels supplied by the kit, you will need to thin down all the spokes, which is a lot of work, and for me, That is a bit too much, so that Scale Motorsports set saves me a lot of time. The tires supplied with the kit look just fine. They need some sanding to rough them up and get rid of that mold line, but that's pretty much all the fixing that needs to be done to those. The clear parts that come supplied with the kit are pretty much one big piece, with the front, side and rear windows all molded into one, and they also decided to add the black stripes around it so you don't have to paint it yourself, which makes it a lot easier and saves you a lot of time. They are pretty nicely applied, and with some paint on the inside of those rear windows, it will look really good, as they are supposed to be painted black anyway. To save you even more time, Revell decided to cast the rear taillights already in clear red, which looks really nice, and you just need to add some black paint for the plastic parts around it. Most of the exterior body parts are molded in yellow plastic, except for the wing that is molded in gray. It needs to be painted black, so that does make it a lot easier, I guess. All the other components, as mentioned, are yellow. They are a really bright yellow, which means that I will probably run into some problems when painting it in another color than yellow, as I'm not going to go for the stock yellow, and thus also not using those stock decals. It doesn't mean that the parts don't look good. They do look really nice. They fit together pretty well. The doors need a bit of sanding, and the wing needs a little adjustment with the uprights to fit perfectly, but nothing really big. Some of the panel lines need a bit of scribing. A couple of parts need to be removed or changed a bit in order to fit to the style that I will be building, but you will see that in upcoming build videos, and also I will explain a bit more in the unboxing of the decal sheet and the detail set. And the final piece to this kit is the decal sheet. Now, as mentioned before, I'm pretty sure that this is different from the US version, but just to know, I haven't seen that kit or actually had it in my hands. I've just read a couple of things on the internet. Now, seeing this decal sheet, it looks absolutely crisp. Super fine details have been printed, even multiple colors on one decal, and it just looks really convincing and is a nice add-on to the kit. It has all of the details there and makes it really easy to get this kit into top-notch detailed shape.